there's a couple of images that came to mind around when I've opened up my heart and I'm just in such joy and the space of love, being surrounded with friends and just and but then that love got misunderstood. That feeling, I feel like it hurt relationships, it hurt, like it just caused wedges, and I didn't want that to happen. But unconsciously I begin to shut down. I feel like that's what I'm getting right now, that love, for the fear of being,
Mm.
not knowing how to, I guess, express my boundaries, express the truth around like what was feeling, because I didn't really know what was really going on
Mm.
until it came back at me in a way that just hurt. And
Indeed. And that is what we are speaking about, dear one, about allowing yourself to understand the difference between when you feel something and the behavior that comes after that feeling is being misjudged or being having a longing or someone not understanding what that meant or being concerned about how that has hurt other people or how it hurts you. And of course, when you have in your past had strong emotions, feeling something, and seeing the behavior and the outside of that causing, as you say, wedges or causing judgment or causing things from the outside, you see, you are, mm, mm, what you are doing is you are bringing up the essence of what is missing in other people, you see. When people come to you with judgment or misunderstanding or feelings that they do not understand in themselves, what you're doing, you are vibrating that for them to feel it. And they are not sure what to call it either. And they are not sure how this intensity is going to work for them either. And what ends up happening is you become the one that they get to blame, or they get to show up in a way that is not serving you and it is not serving them, but it is all about fear. And when someone who vibrates joy and intense love and intense feelings of sometimes overwhelming happiness or experiencing many levels of love, it can create fear in others who do not know how to embrace that or do not understand how to allow that yet. And they will look at you as different. They will look at you as the one that is causing their own fear to vibrate. And in essence, you really are in some way, because when you emit such joy and love, of course, it washes across oceans of energy around you, and people vibrate in that. And some are ready to feel it and some are not. Some do not understand it, and therefore they will push up against it, and you will be the one they push up against. And that is what you feel as a wedge. That is what you are feeling, is that mm, resistance from others. And of course, being human and not understanding it yourself at times, you will say, well, I was too intense, or I did not express correctly, or people are misjudging me, and therefore I will not feel and I will shut that down. And what we are saying is, mm, mm, the challenge for you, dear one, is to know that you are always having an effect on others. And even if they do not understand you, and even if there is misunderstanding and judgments and all of the things, you are having an impact on them. And when you shut down, again, it is challenging. Like the Groundhog Day. In other words, it's like you open up, you have an intensity you feel, and you emit that out, and other people say, oh, I don't know how to feel that, or this doesn't feel right, or this is not going to work. Then you get to go back to the drawing board and shut down again. And then you open it up, and then you do it over and over and over and over again. What we are saying is, perhaps, as we have been saying, keep yourself as a lifeline of allowing yourself to know that you're observing this, and that you do not have to go to your default, which is shut down. You do not have to go to that place in order for you to, quote, turn it off. In other words, you can say, I choose to ride my lifeline, and I choose to observe for now. And I observe that all these feelings are authentic, and all these feelings are real. And yes, I am impacting everyone that I meet and feel and know and talk to, and they are impacting me. And I choose to vibrate in harmony and not allow necessarily my feelings of judgment and I'm doing it wrong, or I need to stay safe, therefore I will not be seen or be heard or have any vibration at all around people, therefore I can be invisible, you see, because many people do that, especially very very prominent light workers, or as we say, light players in the world. They choose to be invisible at times because they have such a light, that this light shines bright and all of the bugs come to them. It is like a bug zapper of energy and light. So if you look at it from that point of view, that the more that you shine bright and the more you vibrate love and joy and intensity, then all of the bugs come to you and they get zapped. Now, they may look at you and say, you killed us because you zapped us, you see. And you get to look at yourself. The zapper doesn't say, oh, I better turn my light off. I'm zapping too many. In other words, what is happening is that is being drawn. You are drawing them to you. And you are drawing them to you to continue that vibration, and not to zap them necessarily to kill them, but it is to zap the energy of love. And when they are ready to feel that, they will feel that. They may not know it, they may not identify it, they may not understand it, and that is okay. Because you are not here to make them understand. You are not here to guide them in a way that says, you must get this or you will die. In other words, what you are here for is to continue shining that bright light, to express and to keep drawing all of those to you that want what you have, but are afraid to really experience it. Do you understand?
Yes.
And if you can look at yourself as a magnificent bug zapper, and it is not zapping the life out of them, it is zapping their life force into them, you see. You are showing them what it feels like to be vibrating from that place. And it is okay if many of them are afraid and they go away. It is okay. And know that you are not going to be the lone ranger in all of this, you see. There are many bug zappers in the world that are zapping their life force, and you attract more of those, you see. And there are people that are allowing themselves to feel more and to be connected to the lights that all of you shine, that all of you are emitting and vibrating. And again, that, dear ones, brings peace to this planet. That is what surrounds the grid of enlightenment. When you are all bug zappers of energy, of light and life force, and you are emitting that, there is only love that comes from that. And that is how you can release the fear. It may not take the time that you want it to be. It may take longer than what you want, but do not be fooled that it is definitely making a difference. Do you understand?
I do. I'm when I'm listening and feeling what you're saying, I'm remembering like this feeling that like I've had a couple of times while you were speaking, and then remembering the feeling in my chest, and it's like I don't have the words to describe the sensation, but I've been like just saying, okay, that's just the excitement. My soul is getting excited, but I right now as you're speaking, I'm like I feel like that was been it's like a part of me has been resisting to open up to the love,
Mm.
and that's that feeling of like this elastic something moving in my chest that's hard to breathe, but I want to breathe into it, and yet I'm having these dialogues that on an unconscious conscious level, but I'm not able to hear my unconscious, I feel like.
Mm. Well, if you were able to hear them, then they would be conscious.
It's true. So it's like a blank.
Again, that is the dichotomy, is it not? It is the puzzle game that many of you play. If you know what your unconscious is thinking, then it becomes conscious. So you do know when you have a conscious thought, it can come from your unconscious or your subconscious. And what you are feeling, dear one, if you can imagine someone who has had their heart stop, and what do the doctors do when they try to manipulate the heart to start again?
They put the little charge things on and
Indeed,
zap.
zap.
Mhm.
So it is a zapping of the charging of your heart that is happening every time that you feel that. Imagine you are zapping your heart open again, and it is zapping that love and that life force through you again. And that is what you are feeling. And it lasts as long as it lasts.
Mm.
And there is, mm, there is no end. There is no finite amount of time or feeling for your heart to be open. You see, it is always there. It is just a matter of understanding it from a conscious point of view, that you have zapped open your heart and you're vibrating from that love and joy and having an impact no matter what. And yes, there will be bugs that fly to you that want that but may not understand how to receive it or to how allow it in their own space. And we suggest you not be too concerned about what they say to you or about you, or what happens from that standpoint, because just know that you have given them life force. And the feeling and the fact that you know that you have zapped their heart open and given them life force, then you are impactful and have done your intention here, you see. So it is never wasted. And what you are feeling from that, just think of it as a heart zapper. We suggest that the word today is zap.
Received.
And how do you feel?
Feeling more relaxed.
Mm.
I am I'm I'm trying to be in this moment and hear what you're saying, and I'm also thinking about the feeling that I felt before when I've just like really loved something, and like the melting of this that love and that feeling, and I'm like it just doesn't happen all the time. Even when I feel excited, it's I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something, and I maybe because I'm expecting on some level to feel it for it to feel a certain way, and
Mm.
not to feel it as it is right now.
Mm. The excitement that you feel, dear one, it is excitement is transitory as well. All feeling is transitory. And what ends up happening for many of you is you say, I want to feel this forever. I want to always be feeling this. And if you can imagine having mm, uh, a forever orgasm, let's say, from a standpoint of having that feeling of flow and orgasm continually, it would be kind of boring after a while, would it not?
Yeah. If it was constant.
Therefore,
It was
therefore,
constant, but every now and then it's good.
of course, and what we are saying is to have the expectation of holding that energy forever is, you will always be disappointed, because it
Mm.
is not part of the process of what you are doing with your emotional body here. It is always levels of feeling. And many of you say, I choose to be enlightened and feel harmony at all times, and do not let anything bother me. Do not let anything affect me.
Mm.
And mm, of course, then that is when you are almost ascended, you see. That is when you are non physical, because there is no necessarily mm, opposite feelings, shall we say, or feelings at all. And that is why you came to body, because you wanted to feel. If you look at it from that point of view, that the reason why you're here is to feel and to experience, then mm, congratulations, you have done it. And all you have to do is to continue to allow it, and to know that any extended release of feelings forever and ever is mm, not to be expected necessarily, because then you only feel one thing. You do not get to feel all the other things that are here for you to feel.